Hello and welcome to a new video that I'm putting out about the upcoming TBC anniversary, etc. plus some MMO design considerations that I will be talking about. So in this video we start off by looking at the three challenges, stuff that I'm looking forward in a TBC anniversary. Number one is PvP Arena. I think everybody should be looking forward to this. To find a teammate, to go, to grind, to rank up, to climb the ladder is always good, no matter what server you're playing on. But there are a few problems with this, because as we remember, back in Season 1 TBC there was a lot of people getting banned. Even there was a funny thing about the Australian guy that lots of teams got banned and one or two Australian guys ended up being rank 1. And there's also a proliferation of cheats of stuff like makes you like auto interrupt immediately and stuff. It's more prevalent in Raft servers, but in TBC with a modern client they are out there, those kind of stuff. So it's a challenge that I'm looking forward to, but I don't know if it's worth it, you understand? Because you might end up I just wasted my time fighting against cheaters, so that's typical in PvP games, but it is what it is. Okay, so now we go for number 2, which is hardcore with pre-nerf. This is a challenge that's not going to happen, because Blizzard has already announced that at least for raids in tier 4, it's gonna be post-nerf. They have said that heroics will be pre-nerf, but I'm not sure if that's gonna be a challenge at all or if people's just gonna avoid it, because they just do the easy ones to farm the badges of justice for the pieces that they need, or they just wait 1 or 2 weeks and they get the piece from the raid, because it's not worth it, the challenge, especially on hardcore. I would personally prefer if there was a system like in Wrath of Lich King, where you have the normal raid and the heroic raid. Not all that thing that there's normal and heroic for 10 men and there's the normal and heroic for 25 men. No. None of that thing, just simple. One single ID, you either do it in normal or in heroic for the raids, and you would get a different color for the item pieces. The colors already exist in the game files. You just put the item with +1 in all stats, so at the end, if you're a mage, you will get plus like 14 items more or less that everyone has, so you have 14 more spell power, 14 more stamina for that tier. So that shouldn't be so hard to implement and not so much dev time, I think, but I don't know. Anyways, this one is the challenge that I'm looking forward to, but it's gonna be post-nerf, and for hardcore is fine, but it's okay. What else can you say? Another challenge is ultra hardcore, because if things are post-nerf, ultra hardcore might be the way to actually put some challenge in there, because you like don't have as much information from the raids, from the bosses, what is happening. You need more communication. Someone saying, oh, I'm low on HP, oh, I've been feared, oh, this happened, I have poison, cleanse me. And there's gonna be like more communication within the party and stuff like that. This might be actually better in people like calling out on Discord or whatever voice communication they use. Might be interesting, but I don't know if we will have time for this, because if we do this and we finish this, then this should take a lot of time, a lot of farming, a lot of people dying and learning. But if we do this, there might be some time later for this, but for me, I'm looking mainly for this and for that. So anyways, so these are the 3 main challenges that I'm looking for TBC anniversary. Okay, continuing. So these are some other rad features that I saw someone talk about on the forum. This guy is mentioning this part right here. Implement different difficulties do not have different item level functions of the same item. You can reward more loot in harder raids, or add the Wrath of the Lich King classic heroic plus system. This was a system that was in heroic dungeons, would make like dungeons harder and harder as the tier progressed. So if you go for tier 5, tier 6, you would be able to access it. I'm not sure I'm really into this. So basically with each consecutive raid that was released, you would get this system that will make it so that heroic dungeons would get harder and they would give better rewards, so that you would still have a challenge instead of just face rolling through them. And I've been thinking, at first I thought this was cool for TBC, but then I'm like, that's not really what I would like. All those rad features, some of it would be cool, yes, but I think without the wrath mechanics and class systems, it would be kind of complicated. It would emerge a very weird meta, super elitist. I'm not sure that's a good thing, because then people would, instead of being barred from going to raids, they would be barred from going to heroics, and everyone would only want to go to the highest reward heroic. So it would be kind of like the key system in current retail, which I'm not really 100% a fan. In regards to, of course, to the elitism and barring people. And now I also have here the talk about normal and heroic raids that I said before. And let me just talk a little bit more about this, the casuals versus elitisms, because in every game that you play, every MMO, you always have the casuals, the people that don't have much time and just want to experience the content. And then you have the elitists, people that want to grind and know everything inside out. There's always a conflict, but this can all be fixed if the design, the lessons that from all the other expansions are brought forward. And namely here, it's just bring a little bit of wrath. Maybe this heroic system will also be good, I don't know. But first I thought yes, then I thought no, and now I'm like, maybe, I don't know. Okay, and continuing now on the, I think it's the final slide, all of this got me thinking about MMO design. Because I remember watching a video a long time ago about from Kungen, why does no one understand what's important in an MMORPG anymore? In the video, he tried to illustrate with paint that every time a new expansion comes out, it invalidates the previous one. So if TBC comes out, everything from vanilla doesn't matter anymore. If Wrath comes out, everything from TBC and vanilla doesn't matter anymore. And he went up to Warlords of Draenor, and this kind of a problem that some people say it can be fixed with some form of horizontal progression or something, but I'm on the other fence, because I think the problem is like the whole expansion model, because expansions end up breaking the previous game with the gear, with the item level and everything. And all of this got me thinking, there's something else that hurts the game. It's the catch-up mechanics. When you have one tier, let's say you're in tier 6, and there's a catch-up mechanic that Zea gets released, so tier 6 and Zea is out, so you go get badges of gear that are equivalent to tier 5. Unless there's the attunement, there's no need for anyone to ever do tier 5 or tier 4, unless for like one special item. So it's a quasi-horizontal progression, so you only have the highest tier, and you have everything else gets bundled up into the previous tier that gives rewards of the previous item level. So this ends up robbing the players out of their progression, in my opinion. So what I would like, instead of this horizontal progression or almost horizontal, because you have the highest tier and the tier right below that, what I would like to have is some staircase. Because what is staircase? you have a leveling staircase. Go up, 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 with a leveling curve. The first 10 levels are easy, then you have to grind a little bit. In the last levels, when you reach level 70, you have to grind a little bit more. It's longer, it's more XP. So this is a staircase. Also, when you reach endgame, there's a staircase. You reach dungeons in normals, dungeons, heroics. Then you do tier 4, tier 5, tier 6, Sunwell. So this is a staircase. So every time there's a catch-up mechanic, it robs you of the staircase. So this would be the leveling staircase, and this would be the end game staircase. And this is what players, and I mentioned, the vast majority of players that want to play a game and not skip, they want to experience. They want to experience the journey. There's always that player, of course, that's saying, is it too late to join the game now? Is it too late? It should never be too late. Why? Because there was catch-up mechanics. But that is not a problem. If you don't have the catch-up mechanics, there will be plenty of people at each and every step of the staircase. You don't have to destroy the previous steps of the staircase and make it just a 2-step staircase. To make it valid, there should be people playing throughout the expansion, especially on you see this on classic, on era servers, because vanilla is made in a way that the progression is slow from raid to raid, and bosses only drop a little bit pieces of gear, and this goes to the last point of the staircase. Right now in retail, in Wrath, even TBC, there's a gear flood. It's like raining all the time, gear on you, purples. Every boss needs to drop 2, 3, 4 pieces. It's too much. If you have the equivalent for vanilla was 40 people and every boss dropped 2 pieces. So for TBC with 25 people, the bosses should drop 1 or 2 pieces. And that's it. And also in terms of the item level, if you have the item levels, from tier to tier they progress so much, you end up having gear inflation. It's too much. This is part linked to the horizontal progression. If your progression goes like this every time you get a level, it's problematic. If instead the next item is going to be, it's going to be a little bit better. It's better, but this one actually gives that stat or that chance on hit, so you don't have to go through this constant gear flood, and with the quantity of items and the item level of the items, it's robbing players out of the staircase. So given all these problems and the 3 challenges that exist, I'm not surprised that there's a lot of players that choose not to play. Like for every single one of these expansions after Wrath, there was a drop in players, if you remember. From all those graphs, I'm gonna try to look them up and put them here, but there was a drop in the total number of players because they were not interested in the way that, in the story, in the way that the game was evolving. So maybe if they keep doing these changes, there's gonna be a few players, the elitists or whatever you want to call them, even the casuals, that they play a little bit and they stop right after because it's so easy. Game is finished. There's no challenge, there's no sense of progression, there's no point playing. You can go play a game like Hello Kitty or Farmville or something, and it ends up having more of an endgame than this. So this is not really, in my opinion, what MMOs should be about. And it ends up doing this quick, it's like instead of making a meal, you end up going for a fast food restaurant, and then you end up having a huge population drop. It spikes and down, and they want to have multiple spikes. It seems like this is what they want, to have multiple spikes and have the whole player base, hey, come experience this MMO with its expansion, hey, come experience this game, hey, come experience Diablo 4, hey, come experience this. And the player base, they don't like that. They like focus their attention on one game, especially those of us that are older. It doesn't work like that for us, but anyways, that's just what I think, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Maybe someone can make a better MMO with these ideas, with little staircases for leveling, for endgame, and stop the gear flood and item level. Hopefully. That was just my 2 cents on the whole idea. Thank you.